Good morning, Madam Chair, Supervisors, and Mr. Huckleberry. Recently, there have been several pay packages offered by Mr. Huckleberry as it applied to the Sheriff's Department. The first challenged the step plan and recommended getting rid of it. This is the same plan that Deputies and Corrections hired into the department thinking that they would be paid. The same plan that recruited the last 8 years' worth of Deputies and Corrections officers. The same plan that the Board of Supervisors voted on and then never followed. The second plan, although very vague, seems to keep the step plan in place, and based on the verbiage appears to be given half decompression. It also appears that the personal contribution towards medical benefits will increase effectively, negating any pay increase that the majority of Deputies and Corrections will receive. The PCDSA and the PCCOA have worked tirelessly for over a year towards full decompression. The county budget is being balanced on the backs of its employees, and it isn't fair. Deputies and Corrections have a hard job. They deal with horrific scenes and life-threatening situations. We have remained patient and have carried the county burden for over 8 years. The Deputies and Corrections officers deserve full decompression, not a manipulation of the numbers so you can try and justify why you choose to disregard them once again. By giving half decompression instead of full decompression will ultimately hurt the community. The level of service currently provided to the people of Pima County will decline because we will lose more deputies to other agencies, and the valuable training Pima County residents have already paid for will be not. It may be acceptable to the Board of Supervisors to lose the tenured deputies and to replace them with newer and cheaper deputies, but what is lost is the knowledge of the community investment that is passed down to newer deputies and corrections officers. The PCDSA and the PCOA have remained patient while attempting to work with the Board of Supervisors. We have entertained all of the delays presented by the Board of Supervisors, Mr. Huckleberry and Mr. Huckleberry, delays that have never happened before. The PCDSA and the PCCOA believe that the memorandum from 2008 sent to all sergeants and deputies was a contractual agreement. It outlined the STEP program and what each deputy would make for each year they were on the job, and has been used for 8 years as a recruitment tool. Deputies and new hires were told the Board of Supervisors and the Sheriff Administration that they would receive the STEP plan. So there was a reasonable expectation that would receive it. It was only after August of 2015 when I first came to the board, I called it a contract that Mr. Huckleberry had advertisements immediately withdrawn and replaced with a pay range. The law in Arizona states that it is not necessary for an employer or employee to commit something to writing in a document that they both sign in order to create contractual liability on the part of the employer. Rather, a statement by the employee created contractual liability if it discloses, quote, a promissory intent or one that the employee could reasonably conclude constituted a commitment by the employer, end quote. Demasi versus ITT Corp. The county made the commitment when the Board of Supervisors voted on the STEP plan. Deputies and corrections officers have a reasonable expectation of that commitment. I stand here humbly asking you to do what is right by the men and women that protect and serve this community. Ethically and morally, there should be no other decision than full decompression and a plan established to never allow this to happen again. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Jeff Barnes.